Right now at 6, a guilty verdict in on a high-profile murder case spanning 2 cities.
The judge makes a quick decision that could carry a stiff penalty for the man accused. Good evening and welcome. A lot from our local courts to cover tonight, as well as the rest of the day's news. First, that decision in the murder of Marie Covington. The
suspect Gary Morton left it up to a judge to decide his fate. He'll find that out once he's sentenced, but the charges and verdict are serious. Guilty of first-degree murder, abduction by force, concealment of a dead body, to which he pleaded guilty, and more. It comes after several days of testimony and evidence in the killing of 40-year-old Marie Covington, which prosecutors say was the end result of an abusive relationship. 10 on your side's Amy Avery has more on today's verdict. Amory?
Well, Tom and Lena, in addition to learning his fate on these charges, Morton will be sentenced on charges he was convicted of in another strangulation abduction case on the same day. Marie Covington's brother told us he's happy with the verdict.
We're very happy with the verdict and how the case was presented. We're just ready to start the healing process.
Marie Covington was a mother of 4, a daughter and a sister. She was abducted from her Virginia Beach home on August 17th of last year. Her body was found 3 days later in a trash can on Galt Street in Norfolk. Covington's daughters say she and Gary Morton were fighting and he made her get in the car. About 20 minutes later, Morton shot at a car in Norfolk near Larkin and Birch Streets. Morton says when he got back in the car following this shooting, he accidentally fired the shot that killed Marie. Prosecutors argued Morton's story didn't match up with the physical evidence and testimony from witnesses.
This is one of those cases where people came forward. People testified, people gave the prosecutors in my office the evidence that we needed.
Morton's attorney Christopher Bettis told us in part the death of Miss Covington was a horrible tragedy and it was also an accident. Mr. Morton has been frank and consistent about how this accident happened. Earlier this year, a jury found Morton guilty of strangulation, abduction, and other charges in a separate 2020 case in Norfolk involving a woman he was dating. Norfolk Commonwealth's attorney Ramin Fadahi says Morton's behavior is extremely dangerous. He says the most common violent crime they deal with is domestic violence.
Victims of domestic violence need to remember you are not alone. We are here for you. The police department is here for you. Find a way out so that the abuse does not turn an innocent and deserving life into a statistic.
Sentencing in both of these cases is set for December 15th. The cases were tried separately, so Morton will be sentenced by 2 different judges on that same day. In the meantime, if you are a victim of domestic violence, we do have resources on wavy.com. Amy Avery, 10 on your side.